This is me, Ryan Mackenzie. I live in Kimberley, BC, and I have a photography business called The Real Mackenzie Photography that I run on the side of some of my other jobs, including teaching and building mountain bike trails for the community. I've been running this photography business for the past 7 years. Before this project, I had a Facebook page and a website. I use social media sparingly, maybe posting a couple dozen posts per year on my page. I decided to use this social media campaign to step up my online presence and try and attract more clients in the areas of photography that I enjoy shooting the most: weddings and sports. I created some goals for myself based on our course and what I thought would work best with my niche. I wanted to engage more users on Facebook, attract at least 100 new followers on my Facebook page, update my outdated website with new images and content, pushing my strategy, engage my audience through Twitter, start a blog, and engage my audience through Instagram. At the start of this campaign, I had 527 followers on my photography Facebook page, 13 followers on my 2-year-old Twitter account, and I did not have a blog or an Instagram account. I currently supply photos as a volunteer for my local ski resort. They use my photos for their own marketing and in return offer me a family pass to all the resorts in the area. I shoot skiing in the winter, golf in the summer, and many mountaintop weddings throughout the year. They would be my primary target audience because most of the locals visit the website frequently. I would also try to target other resorts and people in the ski industry, the general public, and other leading photographers in my niche of photography. I made a plan of how I would grow my online presence and then got to work. I decided to start with what I already knew. I began posting more content to Facebook to begin re-engaging my current audience. Rather than just posting as I had done in the past, I began using strategies to get more exposure. I made sure to add descriptions in all of my postings. These descriptions included hashtags and tags to others. I also shared content from some of the major players in my niche, including Destination BC and Kootenay Rockies Tourism and Kimberley Alpine Resort. I also used Buffer to create a meme and schedule my posts based on their analysis of most of my Facebook users. Many of my posts saw some good exposure. This one here reached over 700 people on Facebook. Facebook also offered to create a video for my business page, so I tried it. I got some great feedback and ratings from some former clients, adding to my credibility. When comments were made, I did my best to reply or offer gratitude as quickly as possible. In this post, I showed an image of a silhouette of a skier. Another local photographer asked me how I got the shot, and I was able to explain the story behind the photo, again showing proficiency in my niche and adding credibility to my service. Some of the barriers that I experienced on Facebook were the ability to share content. Facebook would not allow me to share certain content on my business page. I had to post it on my personal page first and then on my business page. Even then, I was not able to post certain content. There were also sometimes issues when I tried to tag people from my business page. I'm not sure if this is something I can learn to work around or if it's just a reality. I also learned along the way that Facebook has changed their algorithms over the years, making it much harder for businesses to capture likes and followers unless they are willing to pay. In other words, you need to post a ton of content, which risks overstimulating your current followers, or pay up. In the end, I did not grow my Facebook page anywhere near what I had set out for, but I do think that I engaged my audience much more. I began to receive many comments from people at the resort and on the chairlift who had seen my content. I also saw an increase in contacts through email and questions by phone. I found that people were more likely to know who I was when I was shooting content on the ski hill. Before this project, I did not have an Instagram account. It seemed to be just one more social media outlet that I had to manage and create content for. I did not start using Instagram until later in my campaign, but I quickly realized its power and reach. Instagram made it very easy to post my content on both Twitter and Facebook as well. Over the course of just over a week, I went from 0 to 50 followers. people seem to like photos and are more willing to follow you on Instagram than on Facebook or Twitter. I think its simplicity makes users feel less likely like they are going to be marketed to. This post received 21 likes in a matter of a few hours. I thought that was pretty good success rate at 42% of my viewership at the time. If Katy Perry had that kind of success rate, she'd have 19 million likes on one of her photos. If only I could grow to 45 million followers. The most major issue that I had with Instagram was my 8GB iPhone 4S. My storage was always full and I kept having to clear images, music, and apps to have enough space for photos to post on Instagram. Out of all the social media outlets that I have used, Instagram feels the most authentic to my niche of photography. I still have to explore the full power of Instagram, but people related to my niche seem to engage mostly on Instagram more than other social media outlets. It is something that I'll continue to use in the future. Finally, we come to Twitter. I have had some encounters with Twitter in the past, but it definitely had not caught on with me. At the start of this campaign, I only had 13 followers and had made very sad attempts at posting content. I posted many different types of content on Twitter during this campaign. I retweeted others' blogs, others' posts. I posted original posts of my own and links to my own content on Facebook and Instagram. I did grow my following to 46 over a few weeks, but did not feel like I was able to engage with my audience on a personal level. In this group of photos, I tagged and hashtagged members of a group called the Kim Burners and the Life is Good crew. They had connections with the Burning Man Festival in Nevada, which has thousands of followers. I did not get the engagement that I expected with this post, however. My original thought was that I would have been able to connect with a large audience through a large group like this. My feeling about Twitter is that it is more geared towards the marketing side of things and less as at the social aspect. It is big business on Twitter, and I feel that if you can make it there, you've got it made. The most major success I found on Twitter was when I used the hashtag MyKimberly. Any post with this hashtag appeared on my local resort's homepage feed. I used this hashtag frequently to make sure I always had a presence on that homepage. When I look at the big players in this category, I don't see the engagement that Facebook and Instagram seem to generate. Most posts, even from the most followed tweeters, seem to only get a handful of likes and retweets. I would continue to use Twitter to keep my presence among some of the big players and people I'm trying to target, but don't think that I would invest a lot of time into Twitter. The last two goals I had were to start a blog and revamp my website. I decided after the first week and after listening to advice about my strategy that blogging was going to create too much extra work. It was not realistic that I would have enough time to keep a consistent blog as I was already going out to capture so much original content. I did, however, redo my website. I have eliminated a lot of the content on my site, showcasing only the type of content areas that I wish to get more work in. My biggest successes came in a few ways and forms. One of the major players that I was targeting, Kootenay Rockies Tourism, shared one of my images and that I posted on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Many of the locals in my town recognized me personally for the photos and content they've been seeing online. This was much different than before this campaign, and I feel like it will lead to many more photography jobs. My local resort was very pleased with my work. I began seeing some of my photos on online ads, and in multiple different images were used on the cover page of local newspapers. This past week, my local resort also booked me a spot on a helicopter to take some aerial photos of the resort. The biggest thing I learned in the 4 weeks of doing this social media strategy is that it takes a lot of work. I spent about 6 to 8 hours per week creating and curating content. A large portion of that was on a ski hill, so I can't complain too much. I know from experience that paid marketing in magazines, phone books, and other distributions have not been very successful for me. Social media can be done for free if you're willing to commit a fair number of hours per week to create and curate content. The next time I do a social media strategy, I think I would focus more on Instagram. I would also try to focus solely on content that is of high quality. Some of my posts and efforts were to try and engage different audiences. Usually these didn't react as well as I had hoped. Good images or the content that generated the most buzz. If someone were to ask me what advice I would give for starting a social media strategy, I would tell them to be as genuine as possible. It is only worth your time if you're attracting clients and followers that actually have an interest in what you enjoy shooting the most. Thank you.